All right, so we are live now. This is the African Diaspora Voice today. And today we are going to be talking on the issues of the African diaspora here in the United States. And for before we continue, I just want to give the opportunity to the guests, to the panelists to introduce themselves. So I will start with the only man on the panel. Can you introduce yourself, please? Nothing
Yes,
against the
thank.
women. He's in a minority today.
Okay, thank you very much, Jackson, for this wonderful opportunity. My name is Richard Asondo. Richard Asondo is my name. I'm resident in the city of Los Angeles, California, and the founder of Africa USA Voters Foundation.
All right. Let me go to the lady with the beautiful hair before the headscarf.
Mhm.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are tuning in from. My name is Honorable Jennifer Oguzie. I live in Los Angeles, California. I'm a Nigerian American, proudly Nigerian American. I am the CEO and founder of Mama Bama Foundation, Inc. And I'm looking forward to this dialogue and discussion that involves our life, our economic growth, our voices being heard, in the United States.
Thank you, thank you. And the panelist.
Hello, I am Ablavi Paul. I am Togolese from Togo and American citizen. So I've been living in the, oh my God, sorry. I've been living in Los Angeles, California for 17 years. I've been in the US myself for 28 years. I'm part of the African Voter Foundation, and I'm an active member. And I'm joining the dialogue today so that our voice can be heard and that we can actively be involved in our future.
Thank you, thank you. For our listeners today and to the panelists, if you go to the Forum African USA Voter Foundation, there's a link. You can share it on your Facebook pages, and we are broadcasting on YouTube also. So use this time to forward it to your various groups, and so that we can have a wide audience. And most of the audience you have today will be coming after this broadcast. So let's just get things started. Mr. Asondo, CEO, um, why do we have this foundation today? What is it about?
Yeah, thank you very much, Jackson. And again, I want to say welcome to the rest of the panelists. Africa USA Voters Foundation is an organization that is conceived to see if we can fill the void that is existing when it comes to immigrant Africans who have decided to be US citizens and have chosen this country as theirs to actually get their voice heard when it comes to the US political society. Because what we have actually observed is the fact that we are in a vacuum. We're having that missing voice. So step by step, we are going to get there. And that's why we thought this organization should be created and try to bring Africans together in order to act as a voice and to be listened to as other voices from different countries in the world. We all understand the fact that America is a land of immigrants, people from different regions of the world that have come to create this or put together this very, very great nation, which we are there today, and we are proudly citizens of that nation. And we thought, coming from Africa, we should equally be listened to, and we should equally participate in that process. And
Thank
I
you.
just want to add that African USA Voters Foundation is a non-profit organization that is registered with the Internal Revenue Service of the United States.
Is it where is the headquarters based?
The headquarters of Africa USA Voters Foundation is based in the county of Los Angeles, and to be more specific, in the city of Inglewood.
All right, thank you. So, Mrs. Ablavi, I know that the CEO just kind of outlined the main objectives, but could you be a little bit specific? What are some of the issues that are lacking as African diaspora within the political spheres of the United States?
Okay, we have noticed that a lot of Africans are not registered to vote, and they're not actively participating in the vote. They don't even know where to register. So we also want to educate them about that. And also, we want to first educate them and encourage them to register to vote. That's first and foremost.
Okay.
And that's number one. If Oguzi
wants. Okay. Number two. Can I call Mrs. or Miss Ogozi?
Miss Oguzi, Jennifer is
okay,
fine.
Miss Ogozi. Okay, thank you. So now, Miss Ogozi, if we ask Africans to go and then make of what the CEO just presented is missing, when they registered and the impact as diaspora African is not being felt. So what specifically do you think we are lacking as Africans immigrants within the political, economic, and socio-political sphere in the United States?
Thank you so much, Mr. Moderator, for this question. You know, I'm going to start by giving a practical example. We just assume that we are part of what is happening in the United States, but unfortunately, we're not. Just yesterday, I spoke to about 4 or 5 of my friends who are American citizens, have never voted, have never participated, and not even registered. I was like, these are professionals. These are what I mean, educated human beings. I was overwhelmed. I was disappointed. I couldn't even believe it. I was on the phone with them and I sent the link. They registered, and now I'm following up with them to make sure they know their voting center and making sure that they cast their vote. It's one thing to think, oh, we need to be a part of what is happening. It's another thing to be consistent, to follow up. Now, if we're trying to be a voice of the voiceless, encouraging one another to come out there to vote, and they're not even registered, one vote counts. Every vote counts. So you need to make sure, action speaks louder than word. Don't just say, oh, we want to be a part of, the American, elections. We want to be a part of what is going on in the United States, and we're not active, You need to follow up. You need to make sure you're calling your mother, you're calling your father, you're calling your brothers, you're calling your friends, you're calling all your family members, and make sure not just the ones that are registered, that they get up, go out there, vote, because the decision we make today, it's going to be a reflection of the future, our unborn children. We also need to make sure that most of our immigrants are participating in the elections and also elective positions. If we can have more immigrants being elected in the legislative arm of the government, in the Senate, being a mayor, it's a bigger voice for us. It's not just voting, it's also for us to be educated about the law of the United States, so I will have a bigger voice. Because if we have Africans, if we have immigrants in the state house, mayor, even let an African run for governorship, what stops us? We are the same.
Mr. Ogozi, you are saying something very pertinent, very, very pertinent. And down ballot candidacy is very important. You are not only voting, but you should have your own being in position to be voted.
Absolutely.
Down to the school superintendents, because these are where the influence starts.
But politics is local. Politics is grassroots.
Good. But the intriguing part about it is the African vote is so diluted. how do we make it feel like the Jewish vote, the Latin American votes? We want a situation where politicians can come to us because they need us. But at this point, we are not.
That's exactly
Okay.
what I'm saying. We need to be consistent. We need to be visible. Like what the CEO, the founder of this African Voters Foundation has done. It's a voice, it's a platform that is officially registered. Now, when we keep, speaking, we'll be recognized. If we're consistent and if we're eligible and legitimate, anybody that is running for any political office in the United States will reach out to us, because in that can of bucket, in that can of oceans, we have different nationalities, that come together to be one voice, because one voice echoes very, very loud. It's not just being together, but we need to make significant changes to what we're doing. Be emotional about it, be consistent about it, and also be active in everything that we're doing, because our voice, it's very important. By the time our Africans realize, the immigrants realize that the decision we make today, it's going to resonate in the future for our born generation.
Thank you. Mr. Asondo. Before you come in, I have Vanna and Casey. They join us, but we don't have videos or audio from them. I will ask Vanna and Casey to log out and log in. But Mr. Asondo, I heard you like you were trying to chime in.
Yes. The question you just asked, Ms. Jennifer, which she was answering, is very, very, very pertinent. Pertinent in the sense that the reason we are having this shortfall when it comes to the African voice within the U.S. socioeconomic and political system is because Africans are not united. We are not united. We don't work as a team. Actually, when I conceived this dream and shared it with somebody, the person, the first thing the person told me, good luck, because I know Africans are never organized. So I think we have to push and shift away this. I don't know if it's a curse or a problem, but we can stand the challenge. As I hear some politicians say, when we fight, we win. And again, if you listen to what has been going on within the political realm, you as you said earlier, you hear the mention of almost all immigrants from other regions of the world. We talk about Asian Pacific, we talk about Latinos, we talk about Cubans, and all of that, but you don't hear anybody mention Africa. Nobody mentions Africa. Even there are times that you hear a whole president of the United States, I'm referring to President George Bush, call Africa a country, which means we are missing in this vacuum because we are not organized and we are not making our voice heard. So it is very, very important that we get ourselves organized, get together as a group of people who are in the United States, have decided to stay in this country, and we are contributing enormously to the growth of this country. And I was shocked to tell you to let some people know that when it comes to the U.S. immigrant population, Africans are some of the most educated, most hardworking. But again, we are completely missing when it comes to the political decision making. And I heard you even mention the fact that we are supposed to start running even for school board meetings, superintendents, judges, but nobody cares because for some reason we tend to focus more on work, and we don't pay attention to the fact that as you're working, you equally have to participate in other activities that are major decision-making activities within the U.S. society.
Let me put this question to Mrs. Ablavi. Mrs. Ablavi, if today an African stand up and said they endorse a particular political party in the United States, does that make any difference? Does it make any dent in it? Does it matter? And if so, why? And if not so, why?
Okay, if they say they endorse a particular person or party, of course, I will ask them why, and based on how they answer me, I will try to educate them more on what all the people are bringing to the table. What are they doing for us? Because it's our duty to inform, the other Africans, American who are here, and let them know the truth. I mean, like, because the media doesn't teach really much what's really going on. The media just tell us, sometimes the truth, sometimes, not so the truth. So it's our duty also in this organization to teach them about what each party is trying to do for
Okay.
the country.
Okay, thanks. Let me ask Ms. Ogozi the same question. What's your take?
I'm so sorry. I was trying to share the
question
link.
was, the question was, if an African endorses a particular party today, say Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, does it make any difference? Does it make any storm? Does it create any buzz? Does it?
I mean, there is rights to anybody's personal choice, and it's also as individuals and as a community, is left for us to educate them. You cannot force anybody to change their mind, but it's very important to educate them. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is key.
Excuse me, maybe my question is not put the right way. Where I'm trying to go is that because the African vote is not consolidated,
okay,
it doesn't create an impact.
Okay.
So does the African voice in the political realms of the United States, does it have an impact today? Or if so, how? If not so, why?
Absolutely has an impact. We have a magnitude of number. If we decide to say this is our candidate, I don't see anything wrong in it.
But does that number work being dispersed as it is?
The truth about it is most of our immigrants, Africans, don't even believe that they are immigrants. They're hiding
Okay, so
under
let me
a
ask
shell.
this question. Why is it that I never heard any political party trying to
Canvas for the votes.
Canvas for the votes of immigrants, African diasporans? Why is it like, why is it so?
That's exactly what I'm saying, Mr. Moderator, because so many people are in denial of their race. So many people are in denial of where they come from. If we can come together and accept who we are and stay active, be in the light, have a collaboration with other minority countries, with other minority groups, our voices will be heard. We are who we are, and we should be proud of our nationality. You can see Puerto Ricans, you can see Cubans, you can see, Asians, Asians Americans. They are proud of who they are. It is about the time Africans come together, be one voice, be active, so that they know that we have a golden voice.
Very important. Mr. Richard, anything to add before we move?
Can I just add something? Oh, sorry.
I'll come to you, Ablavi.
Sure.
Yeah, I think the only thing I want to add is that if Africans, if we stand up today and we say we are endorsing either the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, I know the dent will be there, but not as powerful as it is supposed to be because of that lack of unity, because of that lack of because of the lack of the fact that we are not acting as a voting bloc.
Good.
All other groups are succeeding because they have a voting bloc. You can't dare say anything against the Jewish community as a politician in this country. Why? Because they are united. Look at what just happened because of the comment that was made against Puerto Ricans, even though they are real Americans. or the Haitians.
Good.
You saw the backlash. It is because they are united. But say anything about Africa, even the fact that Africa was called a shithole country, no impact, no voice, nobody said anything.
Good.
So
You're
we have a
right on
problem.
point.
And the
Right on
way to
point.
solve the problem is for us to get together.
Thank you. Mrs. Ablavi, Paul.
Yes, I just wanted to add one more thing, and I'm talking on behalf of the Togolese in United States. The reason why the Togolese community are not so involved, they're not involved in politics, is because of the backlash of what we went through at home and we're still going through in Togo. Like, you cannot say anything in Togo. If you try to involve in politics, you know, the president will come after you. So they try to stay away. So they, every time you want to talk about, oh, I want you to vote, I want you to register to vote, they're like, I don't want to be in that, because I want to live in peace. I don't want my children to be touched. I just want to live in peace, free from politics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's true. Don, you say I'm Togo, I almost spoke French. So you speak French?
Yes.
Parlez-vous français?
Bien sûr que je parle français. C'est ma
Oh,
première langue.
très bien, très bien. And Miss Ogozi is from Nigeria, and are you Igbo?
Yes, I'm Igbo. Kedu.
Bia.
I'm already here now.
Biko.
That's
So
okay.
that's the unity that Africans are supposed to portray. Because we have been so oppressed for a long time, it is a time for Africans to rise and form a bloc. This is where the African Voters Foundation comes in. African Foundation comes in because there's a void with the African diaspora in the United States. We have seen that people have migrated to the United States and they're doing overtime, and the politics is affecting them negatively or positively. They have no way, they have no say in it. And diplomacy, the American government, there is no pressure group, no lobbyists. Like I usually make reference to the APA, which is the Jewish lobby located in the United States. We don't have a lobbyist that can look into the economic, the social, political, and the social political life of Africa, of the African continent, because this is a very mighty country. We believe it or not, it is, and it can create a very, very, very big influence on the politics and economic activities back in Africa. So now that we kind of touched on the problems that we have, that's why we came up with African Foundation, Voters Foundation. So let me start with the CEO, then I'll go to Ogozi and Ablavi. So what are the possible solutions that we have to solve this problem? Very quickly.
Yeah, Africa Voters Foundation is kind of we're working. It's a child just born, and I will actually say that there are other, some other African groups out there, especially one of the groups that is slightly, or I can say, organized is the Nigerian community, because I actually saw something whereby there was a Nigerian community, a Nigerian organization that actually endorsed a candidate. It's not something we went to.
That's the beginning.
Yes,
Yeah.
that actually endorsed the candidate. So that's why one of our major goals is building alliances. African Voters Foundation is going to open up to any group. We will go even on our knees to beg every other group that we should all get together as Africans. And we're looking forward to a day when Africans shall get together in a hall, more than 1,000, and political leaders will be begging to come and talk to us. Because we, as I stated earlier, we're one of the most educated groups in the United States. Can you imagine? All in Nigeria alone has the number of PhD holders in this country is enormous. There are so many, and not to talk of Africa as a whole. So Africans are here to work. Africans are here to participate in the building of the United States. I don't see why we can come together and actually, make our voices heard. And I would not just say everything is doomed. No. We have a couple of Africans, like if you go to Colorado, there's an African in the state house there. You go to Maryland, there's an African from Ghana in the state house there, and some other few Africans who are running other positions. And we do pray that we have to expand on this. And with Africa USA Voters Foundation up and running and legalized, and I want to announce officially that Jackson is the communication director of African USA Foundation, and the media he is using is actually the media that's going to be representing the foundation as we go along. And we are going to have a lot more conversations like this. And I think from more conversations, people will be able to realize the fact that we are here to stay.
All right. Ms. Ogozie.
Yes, sir.
You look fantastic.
Thank
What do you have?
It's so funny that he made that broadcast about, you being the media representative. And I was just going to say, social media is key. Social media is powerful. We need to establish a very strong social media presence to share our stories, to share our perspective, our concern, increase our visibility. You send to A sends to B sends to C sends to D. By the time you know it, we are everywhere. We're global. We need to start from the grassroots, mobilizing each other, knocking on doors. Like, Mr. Richard said, I'm Nigerian, proudly Nigerian. We are so educated. I think Nigerians probably, when it comes to politics, it's inbuilt. There is no successful office that you walk into and you don't see a Nigerian. I am proudly Nigerian, and I can say it. I'm very deep in politics, and I know someday I am going to be in the Senate in the United States of America. No cap.
Kudos. That's well said. We love that.
So
and it starts.
If we can encourage our people to believe in ourselves, to have that motive, to have that goal, to be fearless. Martin Luther King said, I have a dream. Come on, Africans, come on, immigrants. What's your dream? What is your goal? What is stopping you? If anybody can, yes, we can. And together, we will make history. And together, our kids must get a part of the dividends of the democracy of the United States of America, which is freedom. The freedom is in our hands. We need to use it. We can't be falling backwards. We need to march forward at all time and unanimously come together, be one block, and have a voice that will resonate in the future.
I think I already see one of the political leaders from Africa in the United States right here.
That's right.
She's so eloquent. And these are the talent that we have in Africa that are just lying and wasting. Because we Africans, diaspora in the United States, have decided to just dilute our votes and just go vote.
Absolutely. Mr. Moderator, can I tell you another thing that is impacting us? Most of us are so scared, maybe part of our upbringing, telling you that you're not good enough.
No, it's colonialism, the way we...
Exactly, because you were not born here, because you migrated, you're not 100%. Sorry, honey, boo-boo child, we are Americans and we're here to stay. We ain't going nowhere.
America is a country of immigrants. Immigrants built this country. So there's no way about it.
We are here to stay. And nobody can tell us we're not good enough because we are 100%. Whatever they can do, we can do it better. So the earlier we start believing in ourselves and going out there competing with the best. Don't let anybody tell you you're not good enough because we are the best.
Thank you. So let me ask Mrs. Oblavi.
Yes, Ablavi.
Yes, so now we have doctors, neurosurgeons, academic doctors. We have every person in the political, no, in the occupational spectrum of United States. We are represented. And most of these people, they just go to work, take care of their families, and go back home. What is the strategy for Voters Foundation to bring everybody under the same umbrella? I know patrons like Dr. Fobin and that they've been supporting us with Cultural and Development Association, which is something that all the money goes back and it ends up in corruption back in Africa. But if we do something here, it's going to impact in a very big way. So how do we bring everybody? I know that the CEO said that there are other organizations, quoted the Nigerians. But now, what is the strategy for us to reach most Africans that are based in the United States who are of voting categories?
It's going to be the role of each and every one of us in the organization, first of all, to reach out. I know we know people, like I work in the medical field, so I'm going to have to reach out to my doctors, and they can be, there's Africans, there's Asian, there's Filipinos, and also social media, like Ms. Oguzi said, social media we have a free platform to use. And we can, if we use it wisely, we'll be able to reach out to everybody that we want to reach out to. Oh my God, what did I do?
Well, we can hear you. Your camera is off.
Sorry, I was too excited. I'm not good with this. Sorry about that. Yeah, and I believe that together we can do it. And I don't see colors, as we all Americans, African Americans. So going out, talking to people, and I feel like everything we do representing the foundation will also show, like whatever we do aside, like from home to our work, we kind of bring people back to us in the group, and the people gonna start to vote, and we're gonna go out there and educate. These forums are great. We can teach them simple things and how to have them involved in town hall meetings. Just be involved in the community. It starts just the quarter, the city, even at the school. At the school level, we can all do something, and it's up to us to build that.
Yes. So as we're starting here, you're from Togo, she's from Nigeria, and Mr. Asondo is from Cameroon.
Yes.
What a great African representation we have here today. And you go to the forum, you're going to have people from every single country in Africa. We are Africans. We need to come together as one, as the United States of Africa, so that this can happen. So, Mr. Asondo, what are we doing to get to, what strategy do we have to get everybody that is supposed to be in this foundation so that we can start having the African voice heard beyond the territory of each individual state or individual country?
I think you just started it. And there's something we spoke about earlier here, which has to do with social media representation. What we are saying here today is going to go far. And that is part of the education that we're going to be sending out there.
Let me stop you a little bit. You mentioned social media. You know that even families today, they have WhatsApp groups. So I
that's
believe
right.
that African countries, they have various WhatsApp groups and communities. Is there a strategy to have an inroute into these communities and bring them together?
That is why there is something we have. One of our goals and objectives, it has to do with community organization. We are going to engage all the different community organizations, and focus will be on education and awareness. We have to educate people to see the importance in what we are talking about here. Because if we don't, then they'll just say, "Oh, let the sleeping dog lie." I think that's the way the U.S. political society looks at Africans. We're like a sleeping dog that is sleeping, And they're trying to insist, just keep sleeping, don't wake up, stay there and be dispersed the way you are. Don't be organized. Don't come up as a political force, because they know what Africans can always do if we decide to get together. We can always move mountains, and we're going to make it happen. And there will be other aspects like, economic empowerment. We'll try to see how we can, because once you are economically empowered, every other thing will fall in place. And these are the things that we are going to be doing. We'll talk to different groups. We'll visit churches. We'll visit social groups, social meetings. And I think step by step, gradually, this will take us to levels that we won't even believe. It
Let me
just
pose the
takes.
same question to Ms. Ogozi.
Okay.
What are the strategy for us to meet other groups in various states and countries so that this can be a reality? Let me even ask: is this African Voters Foundation? Is it possible? It can happen.
It's already happening.
Okay.
It's already
here.
live.
We are here today, so
Mm,
it is
mhm.
happening.
It
Okay.
is happening.
What are the possibilities for us to expand?
Okay, so like Mr. Sander was saying earlier, he's already talked about community organization, civic engagements. We need to engage more in advocacy, volunteer, because I see, knowledge is power. If we're able to volunteer in most of the political town hall meetings, to raise awareness about issues that affect us, if we're able to, put what our concerns are on the table, they'll have a listening ear to know what our problems are and where to, meet us halfway and solve our problems. If we're part of all these town hall meetings, being a part of it, being part of the resolution, being part of the, engagements, then, we're growing, basically our voices will be echoing louder. How can you get a share of a bone when you are not part of raising that meat? In order for you to get a piece of the meat, you need to be able to be a part of, raising that meat in the farm. So how do you get the dividend of the democracy when you're not part of making that democracy? So we need to be a part of it in order to get a share. We need to participate. We need to be active. We need to be visible. All these things are, are together. If we are visible, if we are active, if we are consistent, you just don't start and then, start having gallops here and there. You must have a vision, you must have a goal, and you must participate and implementing it till the end until it yields results. And that result is to have a global voice where Africans are respected, where our voting bloc is counted into the political arena in the United States of America.
I think no one could say it better than where you just put it. So, going forward, is there any program for African Voters Foundation so that you can let people that are watching now and those that will watch later on to understand? Is there any program schedule?
Yeah, I think what I would say right now is that we are in the grassroots mobilization process. That is going to continue even after the elections on Tuesday. And one of the things we want to insist here today, as Jennifer said earlier, earlier that she spoke to a couple of friends who have been in the United States, they never voted. We are going to keep searching for those type of people who have never registered and have never voted, getting them involved. And we're not going to, actually our work starts after Tuesday. After Tuesday, our work continues, or it is even starting.
What is it about Tuesday? Because you said Tuesday, like something.
Oh, let me answer. Let me answer that. What
Okay,
is it
let
about
Jennifer
Tuesday?
take on that.
I don't know where you're watching from. I don't know where you're tuning in from, but I'm telling you, history, it's going to be made on November 5th. History will be made. I am not saying what you should do or what you should not do, but I'm telling you, if you haven't voted, Go out there. Be able to differentiate common sense and nonsense. That's my word to everybody. Go out there. If you're logical, tactical, technical, be able to use that thing, which is common sense, that God has given you. Utilize it on November 5th. Be able to differentiate from nonsense to common sense. November 5th, history will be made.
That is the endorsement that is lingering around that we're trying to project it to the highlights. Thank you, Mr. Gozi. That was wonderful. And Mrs. Ablavi, do you have anything to add?
Oh, yes. I just wanted to say
Excuse me,
that.
before you come in, we have other panelists that came in, but they're unable to come up with their cameras on, or I don't know if they're listening to us, but I don't know who shared the link. Richard has control
Maybe
over that.
I thought it was the link that they could they could ask question and
I
all.
think they got it on the group.
No, all right. So this
Sorry,
is
it was my
this is
fault.
just okay. This is just the beginning of this.
Okay.
When there'll be a moment that with future broadcasts, we're gonna open the lines for people to come in and call. And when they call, then they can interact. But for now, this is specifically for 3 of you so that we can jumpstart this process. So, but in future, this is just the first broadcast. We are going to have a lot more so that people can understand what is going on. And so, Mr. Blavi, you wanted to say something before, just say it and give your closing remark, because we started this thing for 1 hour.
I just wanted
41 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You see, it means it's interesting, right?
Okay, I just wanted to say that if people have not voted, you can still go out there to vote. Even if you have not registered yet, maybe you can do it online. Maybe you won't do it online, but you can still go. Like YMCAs are offering, you can go there and register there and vote there. So it's not too late for you. You can still go out there and vote. I'm not saying go vote for this person or this other person. Just go out there and do your duty as an American citizen. That's
Thank
it.
you. CEO?
Yes, Jackson, I want to start by actually thanking you and thanking the other panelists who have made up this time for us to get together and talk about this, about the Africa USA Voters Foundation. And I want to equally just add the fact that Africa USA Voters Foundation is here to mobilize Africans. It is here to make sure we build alliances. It is here to make sure we come up with the economic empowerment. It is here to make sure we build the advocacy and volunteer that Africans need. It is here to make sure that the civic engagement of Africans is on and going. It is here to make sure that we actually have a cultural exchange with other organizations. So because it takes two to tangle. In what do I mean by this? We have to interact with other organizations like Vota Latino and the rest to actually see what is lacking, what we can do to actually build this very, very powerful group that has to represent Africa as a voting bloc. Because at this moment, nobody mentions Africa, and the reason is because we are not organized. We are not organized. So we have to make sure each time the next elections and it's around, people should be able to ask, oh, what is, no, we are forgetting something. We've not engaged Africans yet. Okay, so the key is numbers. The numbers, we have to build the numbers to show to the political assembly that we are here in our numbers and we are ready to engage, participate, because this is our country.
Yes,
this is our country.
Politics is a game of number.
That's right.
So, Ms. Ogozi.
Okay, so is this my closing remarks?
Yes.
This is it.
Yes. Yeah. We want to make it short today because we're going to have subsequent broadcasts. And I'll pray that you invite the same guest or same panelists or maybe some other one, but this same panelist should be so that we continue from where we're going to end today.
Thank you so much, Mr. Moderator. And I'm very humbled to be a part of this epic episode of hearing our voices. Every vote matters, and exercising your rights to vote is very, very crucial in shaping the future of our community, city, and country. You know, voting is not just a right, it's a vital responsibility to every American. Please do not waste it. Please take it very serious. Your vote counts,
Is
and
and your
together
vote
we
is
can,
your voice.
yeah, together we can create a brighter future. Don't say, oh, it's just one vote. One vote can make a difference. You know, I mean, I don't want to hear, oh, all the battle states, the battlegrounds, it's a slim chance. Your one vote that you're ignoring might be the reason why changes could be made. And this changes is going to affect you, it's going to affect me, it's going to affect our children, it's going to affect our community, and it's going to affect our future. So please, my brothers, my sisters, my families, my friends, and my fan. I'm Jennifer Oguzi. I have a huge fan base. People who believe in me and believe in what I like and what I love. For the sake of our Africans in the diaspora, our immigrants, go out there and do what is right. Utilize your civic responsibilities and make our voices heard. It is now or never. 4 years is not 4 days. This would decide the
Thank you.
future of our generation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I will formally thank all of you for coming and for bringing in this very enriched perspectives. And I
Yeah,
will say,
Jackson, just to add something.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to actually say that Africa USA Voters Foundation has a website which is up and running already. It's www.africausaVotersFoundation.org. www.africausaVotersFoundation.org. It's up and running, and please, please, we want everybody to come on board.
Yeah, and one thing I want to tell you guys and the audience listening, this is the beginning. We might not see it come into fruition, but somebody has to start. And African Foundation started it. And the hope is that this thing should happen on our watch. But if they do not, but I believe it is a beginning, it's a new beginning for the African diaspora in the United States. Those people that work the night shift, day shift, double shift, night and 16 hours, doubles. This is time for you to
Triples.
sit up. Triples sit up, even though it's against the law. The law.
Exactly.
It's time for them to get up, come together as Africans, and understand that there is more to just working. And of course, each and every single diaspora that is in the United States is having a positive impact on their families back home. But how can we just have that impact at the national level on these respective countries in Africa? At the level of diplomacy, at the economic level, and social levels. And this can only happen if we have a voice. The African Voters Foundation is that voice that is coming out today to let people understand that we can come together and make changes here, and these changes can now have a multiplier effect back in Africa.
That's correct. You got it.
Thank you, and thank you very much. We shall be back. Have a wonderful Sunday, okay?
You
Okay,
Thank
too.
you,
thank you. And make
Mr.
sure everybody
Moderator.
should make sure they vote.
Everybody.
Go
Thank
vote.
you,
God
man.
bless you,
Oh, I even
all the
forgot to show this,
panelists.
please.
Oh,
God
You
that's
see
bless.
my
Oh, you voted
voted.
already.
oh,
God
you
Yeah,
Yeah,
voted.
we
bless all
saw
the
it. We saw
viewers,
it. We saw
and
it.
God bless the United States of America.
of America.
Bye-bye.
Amen.
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 Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank
All
you.
right. Yeah.
Bye.
Mr. Richard, you're still live. Okay, how do I leave?